Your question.
Okay, I just need to talk a little bit again about the sea in terms of fish.
About what?
The sea. In addition to the ocean.
Ocean.
Sea life, Fukushima, Gulf oil spill. Like, what are you recommending eating from the sea?
I recommend eating deep sea fish. Right now, not from the Pacific Ocean, from the Atlantic, from fish caught anywhere from South Carolina up.
Everything in the Whole Foods doesn't come from there.
You have to buy the fish that does. Well, you can go to Santa Monica Seafood Market, and you have a better selection.
Atlantic. Well, how about New Zealand, like Hawaii? That's specific.
Those are fine. Well, not Hawaii. New Zealand is fine. Australia is fine. Norway is fine. Finland, Sweden. Except for because Hawaii is getting more radiation from Fukushima than anything. Lori is there. I don't know if some of you know Lori, and she's over there right now, and there is 1,200 times the radiation level.
Wow.
1,200 times. That's nothing like it is in the East, like in Dubai. It's 8,200 times the radiation level.
Dubai is the other side of the Atlantic, isn't it?
It's way over North Africa.
What about Alaskan
Northeast
salmon?
Africa.
Alaskan salmon.
Alaska salmon, the reports that Fukushima has taken more radiation up there than anywhere else. Yeah. So Alaska's not a good place.
So now, last time I saw you, you said that you just were not eating salmon whatsoever.
I don't eat salmon ever again.
And that reason?
The reason for that is every time I've eaten it, well, I stopped eating it 4 years ago. Because every time I ate it, no matter where it was from, I got sick. And what they did, they've been lying to us all along. They released genetically modified fish, salmon 30 years ago. They've only admitted doing it, and the law has allowed them to do it in the last 3-4 years. But they needed to allow them to do it because now people are detecting that this genetically modified salmon, but it's so pervasive now in all the salmon because it was released 30 years ago. But they needed to get an okay on it because people started suing them for releasing the salmon they were not supposed to be releasing, the genetically modified salmon. They would be bankrupt.
What about Fanny Bay oysters? They're from Canada.
Which bay is it, Atlantic?
Well, in the oysters are the only shellfish I know that can build all the toxins into the shell. So as long as you're not eating the shells, I don't care where the oysters come from,
So
they should be fine.
from the Pacific, like Bahama, they come
Correct.
from Seattle.
I wouldn't buy anything from Hawaii, though.
The Seattle is okay.
Right, yeah.
So in terms of, other than salmon, do you have any other refined ideas about which types of fish to eat?
Well, I have no other trouble with no other fish other than that. So you have halibut, you have sea bass, shark, tuna, any of your deep sea fish.
Tuna's from the Pacific. They came from San Diego, they told me.
Well, you can get tuna that's from other areas.
Swordfish is deep sea too, right?
Swordfish is my favorite. Highest in mercury.
So
That good?
I had my hair analysis checked frequently one time because Greenpeace sponsored it, and I had to pay a very small amount. I sent them 7 samples of my hair, all from the same period, to see if there would be different concentrations of mercury coming out of my hair. And of course, where I've been bald since the chemotherapy and radiation therapy, that area spits out the most mercury. So it keeps me bald. Although I have grown some hair in there that I didn't have before, so it's starting coming and going. If I hadn't had those injections, I'd been I've been 20 years younger than I am right now, the way I was before those injections. That's why I said I'm going to kill anybody who tries it again. Definitely will. They will be dead. And I am heavily armed now. I've got tasers, I've got a gun, I've just got my concealed carry permit in 30 states. I'll be getting it in California soon. So I will be armed to the teeth.
Done your due diligence on abductions.
Absolutely. Anybody who tries it again is going to hurt. Terribly.
Did you go for the free pistol course?
Pardon?
Did you get the free pistol?
No, I think it's free. Their free pistol, I don't care for. Yeah. Anyway, the fish that I like is the swordfish is my favorite. My mercury levels, even in my hair, before these injections, was anywhere from 2.3 to 3.2. No, it's 1.45 to 3.2 at the worst place. And you're not considered contaminated until you're 10 or 11. So I'm way down on the low end, and I eat a lot of swordfish. Doesn't absorb unless you're eating it cooked.
Where do you get your fish on?
Santa Monica Seafood Market. You always get it freshest there.
Whole Foods is not known for.
You have to understand, Whole Foods gets theirs, they send yours for this and this and that. They hold it up. A lot of times they'll freeze it. So, if each store were to go buy at different markets, it would be fine, but they don't. Whole Foods buys and then distributes it to each store.